Hello YouTube, I finally got round to buy myself one of these skeleton money banks. They're brilliant things. They're cast iron, but normally when you find them on eBay they cost a fortune. I managed to get this one cheaply because he's got two fingers that are missing. But I don't mind that. I'm going to be able to fix that, I think, reasonably easily. You can see here, you pull a little lever on the back and his jaw opens, his eyes pop out and his arm goes up. And then you put some money in his hand and he swallows the money. Because these are cast iron, they're really heavy, but I like that about them. It means they're really quite solid and normally quite durable. I guess if anything's going to snap, it's going to be one of the fingers or two of the fingers in my case. You can see, mine's got quite a bit of wear and tear, but it's a genuine vintage one. You can buy reproductions of these nowadays, and they're not as good. They're nowhere near as good. I love actually all the kind of patina and things that go with these really old ones. Right, let me show you how I'm going to fix the fingers on my particular one. So I've got a tiny little Dremel drill here. It's got a very fine drill bit in it. And I've just used this to make two holes in each finger. And the way I've done that is I've drilled into the cast iron. Each finger has got a wire that runs through the middle of it, but I've actually made the two fine holes either side of the wire. It would be really hard to drill into the wire because it's particularly strong steel, I think, but the cast iron is reasonably straightforward to drill into. Hopefully you can see the holes that I've made there. On this one it looks like I've drilled three holes, but I'm only going to use two of them, and I've drilled two holes on the other finger. You can see all of the dust that I've made on the floor here. That's all just cast iron dust. Right, the next stage is to take some really strong pins. I've just used stainless steel pins and dip them in some super glue and then feed them into the holes. You can see that I've done that here, and you can see I've got the two pins for each finger. This is just going to be a bit like, making a wire armature for a figure. It's the wires that are going to strengthen the fingers, and then I'm going to bend these slightly using some wire cutters, and then I'm going to sculpt over the top of those pins like this with some milliput. So you can see I started off by making the fingers a lot thicker than I need to with the milliput. Then I'll wait for the milliput to harden, and then I will actually sand this back so that I can kind of refine the shape of the fingers even more. This is just a very kind of basic start. I'm using super fine white milliput for this, just because I think it's a lot kind of denser milliput. It's really particularly tough and very smooth. If you haven't used milliput before, it's a two-part putty. You mix the two parts together in equal amounts and it sets rock hard at room temperature in about 4 hours. Right, after that milliput had hardened, I went in and I sanded it, so I've ended up with the fingers looking like this. They're a little bit more refined. I think you can see they're a bit more shapely, and at this point I thought I was ready for painting them. As the original skeleton would have been painted using enamel paints, I decided to use small tins of Humbrol enamel paints for all of the painting on this. If you haven't used enamel paints before, they are absolutely brilliant. The only problem with them is that they take a really long time to dry, but once they have dried, they're really tough and yeah, really, really durable. So you can see the colours that I'm using here. There was a slightly kind of grey colour, then I've got white, yellow ochre, and this sort of maroony red colour. So I started by mixing the white with the yellow ochre to give me this slightly kind of creamy looking colour. And I've used that as the base colour. I'm just using an old brush. It's not worth using new brushes for this sort of thing. And yeah, painted with the pale yellow ochre creamy colour first. Then I've gone in with a slightly darker version. You can see there the two different versions. That's the lighter one, that's the darker one. With the darker one, I've just used that to go into some of the sort of deeper areas, like those kind of dents between each finger, and that really kind of matches in with the original paintwork really nicely. You can see I've gone in and I used a bit of the maroon colour here just to touch up the eyes a bit. The eyes had a few kind of dents out of them, and they looked a bit rough, so I've tidied those up. And I've just used a bit of white as well here and there in the eyes just to kind of bring out a few touches. I did have quite a few bad paint chips here and there on him, so I went in with the cream colour and I touched all of those in, and that's made a huge difference. What I didn't want to do though is go in and remove every kind of blemish, because that is the patina of him. If I get rid of them all, he won't look vintage anymore. He'll look too modern. Right, let's give him a go. This is a UK 1p coin. There you go. He swallows it. Here's a UK 2p coin. Yummy. This is good for any of you who are watching in America and things. You can see our coinage. That's a 5p coin. Then we've got a 10p coin. Yum yums. I love the way his eyes pop out. Here's a 20p coin. Yummy. This is a 50p coin. I wasn't sure if he'd be able to eat this or not. It's quite a big coin, but he managed to get it down. And finally, here's a £1 coin. Delicious. Okay, I think you'll agree he's a really cool object. I love the fact that his eyes pop out at the exact same time that his jaw opens and his arm lifts up. It's just a really simple but really effective mechanism. Works really well, and I'm so glad to have got one of these. I picked him up for about £30. Normally on eBay for a really good kind of vintage one, they go for like 70 or 80 pounds. So I was really pleased to get him for 30 quid. And the fix was really quite simple on the fingers. So I would urge you all, if you've got a Dremel drill and you've got a couple of pins hanging around, buy one with broken fingers. It'll save you a fortune. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments. Hit subscribe to see anything that I post up in the future. Check out my kind of 80s toys and other collectibles videos if you get a chance. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.